Why is it that you left at that particular time and Bobby stepped in?
Um, Honestly, it was the first time in my whole life of touring because I had just gotten with Robin. Well, not just gotten, but we had just got married, and it was really the first time. I mean, no disrespect to other girlfriends and my daughter's mom or anything, but when it was time to go on tour in the past, I'm like, yes, I can't wait to go. Can't wait to go, And it was like the first time ever that I was like, I'm really depressed. It was the first time. I think it was the worst depression I ever had being on tour, which led to off days on my own and, in a hotel room in Romania or something, and it's freezing cold and shitty weather, and I'm all doomed up and just, waiting to call Robin, which led to, depression sometimes will lead to hitting a bottle, and whatever, man. It was just a rough time on me. And I was talking with Phil and Snake Sabo from Skid Row, who was managing us with McGee Entertainment. And, they were just kind of like, well, maybe it's time we just move on and keep our, without fucking our friendship up. And I said that in so many words, that's what it was about. And I said, you know what, that's perfect. And Robin said, look, babe, if you want to do Crowbar full time, she goes, I'll come with you. I'll do the merch. You can kind of help me learn the whole business and this and that. And that was over 9 years ago now, so
right.
It worked out great for me because I got happy again, got much healthier, and it was fun. And I mean, even to this day, I get excited. She's like kind of designing merch for our upcoming European tour with Sepultura and Sacred Reich. And I told her, I said, anytime you're on the phone doing business, I get excited because, that's our life. It's kind of like a family business now. It's a whole Crowbar thing. But that was kind of how the whole thing went down. Honestly, it was just a situation where I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm actually, which made me know that she's the right woman for me. Sure. Of course. But it was, I was like, no, I just needed, we all needed a break from each other anyway, It's like, everybody says it and it's true. It's like, Down, it's 5 very strong personalities, and we're kind of used to, at least Phil, Pepper and myself and Jimmy really were kind of used to leading our own bands and shit. So when you have to, it's not really an ego thing. It's just more or less where we can butt heads very easily. Sure. But, at the same time, when it's magic, it's magic. And that's the beauty of it, But it worked out great time-wise. It really did, because they had asked me to come back prior to COVID.
It worked out for everyone because everyone spent more time on their own project.
Big time. Like Pepper got back involved, with COC, and Jimmy with I God, whatever, because we had made a pact with each other. And back in 2006 for the first European tour, the one that Bobby came out with, and we just said, okay, from now on, Down's our main band. Our other bands are now all our side bands. Yeah. And it ended up working out great, in the end for everyone. But when I was asked to come back and do some European festivals in 2020, which we finally were able to do this June, I told him I would love to, and I had read, what Pepper was like, well, since the band's pretty much broke up, he said, I'll do it again, but I want to do it if Kirk comes back because, by then, I mean, we had started hanging out a little bit. And I think one thing that really helped was COC took Crowbar out on two pretty long North American tours, like 40-day, not date, like not shows, but, 38, 40-day long tours, one earlier in the year and one at the end of the summer. And it's like, hanging out with Pepper outside of business and outside of being in a band with him, we had a blast every night. We're just buddies hanging out, listening to fucking music and sipping some beers, man. It was great. So it really got our relationship a lot tighter, even though we always got along well. It was sometimes you got to step away from things, and then sometimes to see to make it happen better or whatever. So I've enjoyed, the time I've had back with them, and hopefully after Phil with the Pantera thing, we'll continue doing some Down stuff. But it's turned into what it was originally gonna be, which was a side project. So I want to be as busy as I can with Crowbar. Pepper, same with COC. We're trying to work some stuff out to possibly do some shows overseas together. And I told Jimmy, just keep as busy as you can with what I got, and just keep. It's not like we don't have our own killer things going on.
No,
we love to do Down, and really, it's almost more of a like, oh my God, Down's playing. So people know that we play such few shows now that they travel from all around, and the shows are really, they were always successful, thank God, but even more so now, so it's one of those things, man. But it just worked out. Ended up in a big picture of things working out great.
Almost better that it's a unicorn instead of like a full thing all the time. I want to throw in, I kind of hate the word, but supergroup, about how you guys all are, you already said it best. You all are, you lead you're used to like, steering things along with your own projects. So when you get all of these leaders together, it could be a recipe that could go either way, good or bad.
It has from time to time.
Yeah. I would imagine there's been some human explosions.
Yeah.
And that's to be expected. That's what I'm trying to say is you guys are all brothers. It's all family, but it's kind of like, being in a family, it's like somebody, it's like the weird, all the weird cousins and weird uncles show up to Thanksgiving. You're like, oh, this fucking guy again. Oh, hey, how's it going? You know what I mean? You don't want it to be like that. You want it to be the way that it should be, and that is where you guys are all missing each other and wanting to hold each other up in the right ways, and being able to steer your health where it needs to go. So you leaving Down, to David's question, right? You leaving Down, I'm not going to call it health reasons because you didn't, but it was a way for you to make a decision on to steer your health in the right way with the help of Robin, with the help of Crowbar, because it was kind of like it was time for you to go home for a little while. And then ultimately it just seemed like that opened everything else up to happier times anyway.
And it did, and the thing is, like I said, it's just, it worked out great. I mean, for Crowbar and for everybody.
Yeah.
And,
man.
It brought, a lot of attention to Crowbar, and that was a good thing for us. But I certainly didn't do it for attention. But it really, it helped me out as a human being, as a husband, as a father, as a stepfather, and a grandfather, and a puppy dog father, and the whole nine, and got me where I was out there, and I didn't mind, man, doing 20, 25, 30 shows in a row, whatever it took, helping unload the gear, kind of like the old school, old days and stuff, man. And, but it's all good, so you can't bitch about that. It's all good.